Actually, I was reading this book. I think
Yeah.
it's no, you can't see it. It's a Corporate Chanakya, written by Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. He has picked up. He did a research on Arthashastra written by Chanakya. Also, supposed Arthashastra is a set of books, number of books. So it is believed that probably Kautilya also wrote it, or Kautilya and Chanakya might be the same person. Also known as Vishnu Gupta. Yeah. Chanakya is also referred to Vishnu Gupta. I got came on television, and the way that actor used to say, I got attracted to the quotes that were coming over there, and I wanted to read something, but I couldn't get anything. Then, of late, when I was in Kurukshetra and went to Chandigarh, I picked up this from Sector 17, Corporate Chanakya. I have read it once and going through it again. So Dr. Pillai has very efficiently written down the management principles through upon which if we active the company, we can actually follow it and be successful, because all the management principles that are being used were written in Arthashastra hundreds of years ago by either Chanakya or Kautilya or the same person, whatever you come with. So in that, Kautilya has written actually 15 books, and in the sixth book, he has written, the sixth book consists of only 2 chapters, and these 2 chapters are very important because they tell a king, they guide a king on how to make his kingdom very successful. And in this, while defining success, he has stated 3 mantras. So he says that success which is attainable by counsel is known as success through counsel. That means when we attach ourselves to a mentor and try to gain success in our life. The second form of success is that success which is attainable by might or strength. So many of the kings and even in the corporate world, people try to overtake with strength and might and take the power in their hands and achieve success in their lives. That is how they want to achieve success. But the third form, which he has stated, is success which is attainable by energy. Now, with energy, what he means is the positivity, the strength to do, determination to keep on doing it, the grit, the admiration, and the overall happiness that a person exerts in the journey to achieve success. So these are the 3 mantras given by Chanakya in his book Arthashastra. Now, when I spoke to Dr. Shivanand over here for this interview to take out things, to get to know him better, I found the third factor, that means the energy and the enthusiasm factored in him, which has driven him probably to achieve the success in his life or gain the success in his life in both the factors, the professional life as well as the personal life. In professional life, he is an engineer by profession, and he is working as an R&D head in Synopsys, but he has been, he has worked for Synopsys earlier, then again Intel, then came back. He's also the managing director of MediaTek, a company which I think deals in fabless semiconductors. So it's the largest company which deals with the fabless semiconductors of the world. So Dr. Shivanand is here. Please say hi to everyone. Dr.
Hello,
Shivanand is
everyone.
here.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Yeah. Good evening and welcome to this show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. He's being covered by Shraddha Sharma in yourstory.com. His story has been covered. So that was a thing of for his journey of questions to him. How plan is okay. He's been very successful, but let us know what going. So, Dr. Shivanand, as it is said that life is all about partnerships, whether it is your spouse, your relatives, your friends, whoever. If you have a successful partnership, you are successful you do. So tell us about this partnership of yours with your friend, which led you to this developing the Belaku Trust and then carrying things forward from there. So kindly please tell us something about it.
Definitely. Let me give you a little bit background about why even we started something like this. So back, me, my wife, my friend, and his spouse were attending a IIMB alumni meet, and Ajin Premji and philosophy in general. And one of the things which really stuck to us was Azim Premji. When somebody asked Azim Premji, what is the biggest challenge you have as a philanthropist and what do you really like to change? One input which he gave was very interesting. He told, is giving so much. This journey, will I make a difference? Was the question which a lot of employees have, and they might not do the philanthropic activities. So, how do we encourage them? Was something which he mentioned. I think it's a very good point because sometimes people think unless I give a substantial amount or a substantial time, I will not be able to make a difference to the society. And I think that's what stuck to us and said, hey, why don't we try to bring some people who are actually something good on the line, bring them on the line. And that me and my very close friend, Smita Hemmige, she's actually head of marketing in a company called as ThoughtWorks, started a company called as Your Philanthropy Store. So you can, yourphilanthropystory.in, it's one word. The whole idea of yourphilanthropystory.in was trying to bring social heroes to limelight. So we interview people who have done something good for the society, cover their story, and actually bring them onto our website, and we promote them. And what we have seen is with this, lot of more people, right? A lot many people wanted to partner with them, wanted to give their time or money with them, and work with them. And that really prompted us to cover. We still keep doing it. I mean, we've been interviewed more than 80 people now. And, we are doing a fantastic job of covering most of these people, and you'll see some very interesting stories over there. And it can really, those kind of stories are there who really deserve to be, brought to the. Try to do that, and we continue to do that. But in whole of these things, interviews, what we saw was everybody needs a hero. Everybody needs some story to be inspired, right? Then that's what inspired us also. We said, hey, why don't we make a difference? While we are covering social heroes, can we do something? That's when me and my wife had an agriculture land in Mali, which is around 100 kilometers from here. We started discussing and said, hey, we partner with more like-minded people and actually do something for the village. And the only thing which came to me was a school, because I've been involved in education almost from 2000. Both doing, we've been known each other for many, many years right now. We said, can we just cover and do this? And so I invested money, almost 80, 90 lakhs on infrastructure, and set up a fantastic. It's not a classroom, it's an open area within the agriculture field where the kids should come and feel that it's not a school anymore, right? If you try to build classrooms again, they'll think, it's another classroom, I'll not be interested to go. So we wanted them to, to use agriculture as the main theme, and we built the structure around it. So if you see our classrooms in Belgaum, it's a very open area. Platforms come in, and we started doing it. And first day when we announced it, we had 18 kids, and today, of course, we have 105 kids. I can explain more on the journey later. But this is what inspired us to actually start something like this in Belgaum, which is in Maloli. Now we are thinking of.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for reassuring the fact that when you listen to something, you get an idea, and idea goes on into converting it into actions. So again, dear audience, listen very carefully as we take this journey forward from here. So I just wanted to know whether you faced any roadblocks and how did you come up with a solution?
Many, many, many roadblocks.
Or what were the problems that you faced with?
Many roadblocks, still we have it. There's no doubt about it. But it's interesting problem to solve. I'm an engineer, so I love problems. So, all these things excite me actually. But
he's good at strategy building also, and that is why he is highly in demand with Synopsys right now and has been throughout.
So the first thing which came up was, why are you doing it? The whole villagers were surprised that why would I want to do a free school? The first question which they asked me was, are you standing for elections? If you're planning to stand for elections, then, there's no point in you supporting you. Second one was, local politicians, I never asked for any help. I didn't go to the local MLA, or I didn't go to the, whatever you want to call, right? The village guy, right? I didn't go to him. I said, I'm going to do it on my own. So they were not happy with this decision. They said, hey, why don't you call our MLA for ribbon cutting? Why don't you call this person for, I said, nobody is and can enter this place. This is my place. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm very stubborn in that. Then they started spreading rumors that here is a guy who might actually kidnap children, who might take the kids and take kidneys out of them. Here is a guy who might take their eyes. And they had a lot of stories saying that this happened in Andhra Pradesh, this happened in Tamil Nadu. He also might do it. So at once we had a class out of 80 people. The next class we had 0 because there was rumor which was spread in the village that
Oh my
you cannot
God.
have. Many times I had to go to the village, talk to the villagers, sit with them. I'm a local Kannadiga, helps a lot. So I speak all kinds of Kannada. I speak Gaudur Kannada, which is like Hasan Kannada, or Mandya Kannada. I speak Lingayats Kannada. I speak North Karnataka, which
My
is
goodness,
fantastic.
I'm just trying to pick up a few words of Kannada so that I can.
Different accents, different way of talking very much helps, right? So I became a local with them, tried to explain why I'm doing it. The kids were completely sold out on this. Literally, kids started convincing their parents, saying that even if you say no, we will not go to this class, right? And that helped us. And we give not only education, but actually it's a holistic learning what we try to do, right? They come in the morning, we do breakfast for them, we do snacks for them, we do breakfast, then we do lunch for them, right? And this is a very, very poorest of the poor. I mean, if you look at this village, you'll be surprised that there is something like this just 100 kilometers out of Bangalore. And uh, today we have 105 kids. The whole village might have 110 kids or 115 kids. Literally, the whole village comes to our place, starting from first standard to 10th standard. So many roadblocks. In fact, when it starts raining, the water gets. We have a channel around the agriculture plots there. So the water gets filled up till the channel. So you suddenly they started asking me, what's the safety of these kids? Because the land is 1 kilometer away from the village. So if the kids are walking towards the village, what if something happens? Who takes the responsibility? That was a bigger question for me because I didn't realize that. Then I always thought, once they come into my campus, that's a responsibility. What about the transport there? Because in a regular school, they're responsible for the transport also, right? So we got to be careful about that. So then I said, okay, we will provide the transport. We should pick up and I drive the vehicle myself. I don't let anybody drive this. Initially, I started driving the vehicle. I started getting the kids to my lab. Actually, I didn't get 4th standard, 3rd standard kids sometimes. I them together, boys and girls together. Then one of the girls complained that, this is
The back and just expect your team to. That is absolutely something. And another thing during my conversation that had come out with Dr. Shivanand was that I mean, I read it on my story, your story, sorry, that he was when he was doing when he was in his second year of engineering, he used to teach students to teach them also. So that is something I think remarkable. That is what again made him come back to India and connect with the Ramaya group of colleges. He's attached with them and he teaches, I think, mathematics over there and attached to certain schools and giving his Olympiads, his skills in Olympiads also. So it's wonderful.
I was always, I started my teaching, my very close friend, I mean, he's doing fantastic in Intel. I started teaching him, I think, in 6th standard. And he got more than me in 10th standard, by the way. I've always been a teacher.
Good, good, good.
So I was
वही है ना, दोस्त फर्स्ट आ जाए तो ज्यादा दुख होता है. Three idiots का dialogue.
Really, really well. Injustice and not methodology or the tools to teach the kids. Yes, you want to help, but I think it's better to partner with the teacher and do it. So I've always partnered with teachers, and that's how teaching has always been my passion, and I still teach. That's no end to
Totally agree with you. I think you have again stated that learning throughout life is very important. One should not stop that because otherwise you will not be able to do much more that you want in your life. You will stagnate your life at some point. So design thinking is something, yes, all of us, like I have done around 2 courses in design thinking because that is what is now required at the school level. So that is great. I mean, being an engineer and thinking at the school level is really something
so somebody
great.
asked a question
And
on the chat. I just
yeah.
saw something popped up. Somebody asked a question: how is design thinking can transform the rural education?
Right.
I think application is very high in rural education itself today because we are used to give a canned solution to everywhere, right? If this works in bank in Mysore. This should work in village. Never works. You need to really look at what is required in that village. What is the IQ level of that village? What are the gaps which need to be filled in that village, and then create a curriculum around it. And the design thing actually starts with that. It starts with customer empathy. It starts with identifying the problem first and then looking at solution, and not the other way around. We always have a solution and then go to a village and say, this is how you learn science. This is how you learn mathematics. Right? That's the most wrong thing. You have
correct. As we say, no,
cannot come to class, and if you ask them why, they say the laborers have not come, so we need to go and do the farming. You cannot tell them, don't worry about that, come to the class. You need to have a system which actually works around it, which is very, very important, right? Otherwise, and you need to have for every village. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
That is true. And as we tell the teachers, no, generally, that do not provide a solution to the children. You pose a question to them, let them come up with the solution. Only then the growth and innovation takes place. Otherwise, there'll be no innovation. So Dr. Shivanand belongs to a family with wherein Darshanis, I'm not very popular with this in Bangalore. I mean, I'm not very connected to it, but it seems that the Darshanis all around Bangalore are belong to either your uncles or relatives or cousins. So obviously, I and every one of us get the feel that you had a comfortable background, financial stable background. You could have just proceeded in your professional journey, taken yourself further and further. What motivated you to do something for the society?
See, when I was, I'm 47-year-old right now. So when I was 35, 36, my only dream was, if I get 1 lakh rupee per month, I retire. I don't need anything more than this, right? Somewhere, 1 lakh rupee per month, I have a small house, I'm done for life. At 45, that 1 lakh became 5 lakh. At 50, it will become 1 crore. So there is no end to it, right? There's no end to this settling down. And that's the worst word Indians use, right? I mean, Manali is sitting next to Manoj. She can understand. Every parent goes and drills this word to the child that first settle. What does this word settle mean, right? Nobody knows. We are not settled at our age. So what are you expecting a child to settle at 20 or 18, right? So money is definitely not a measure for anything. I mean, that's which I don't agree to, right? Even I have seen people, if you see your philanthropy stories, some of the stories we have covered, people 20,000 rupees and the impact they're making, I'm not able to make it, right? So it's not about money. It's about a mindset. If you really want to do something, there is an opportunity just around you. You don't have to even look outside. Just look around you. There are construction kids around my house today. More than 50 kids are there who go to a government school, but they don't have any infrastructure. It can be as simple as giving them a cricket bat and a ball during the lockdown because they didn't to play. As simple as that, right? So there is no money. Yes, I come from a Darshini family, from people from Bangalore Node. My dad actually owned Shanti Sagar restaurant in Majestic. We had a hotel there. I had a very comfortable life, no doubt about it. I didn't go through the regular struggle or anything. I had a very comfortable life. My dad also had a very comfortable, he struggled a lot, but he actually built the whole thing very nicely. But he always used to tell, right? He never has one site extra. He had only one site. He's 76. He has a Pulsar bike. He goes on a bike. He has never bought a car. He never invested in land, and he always says, why unnecessarily get into all these things? So wealth, acquisition was something which he never did. So that was something which I think it came in, right? And my dad was known for, in our family, if somebody wants to get married, if they didn't have money, they used to come to my dad. And dad has done I don't know how many marriages, right? Stood and front-ended those kind of stuff. So that's something which I learned from my parents, I think. And my mom always says, you guys don't know what it is not to have something. And my mom have come from a very, very, very humble beginning, right? So she always used to tell. I think that helped. A lot of things I think comes from nurture only.
Tell us about your grandmother, who was very good at mathematics.
Oh yeah. My mom's mom.
Very interesting story, yeah.
My mom has never studied till I think 3rd standard or 4th standard those days, and she had 4 kids. My mom is one of them. All are rank holders. And I used to ask my mom, why? What is the big thing of being a 10th standard rank holder? She is 9th rank holder in the state. My mom. Her sister is also I think 11th, or my brother is also rank holder. Everybody is rank holder. She used to say, if you get a rank, you get national scholarship of 400 rupees or 300 rupees per year. That runs the house. There is choice but to get a rank. Otherwise, you'll not get the money. And that was
Excellent.
how bad it was, right? My
Motivating
grandmother used
factor.
to my grandmother used to watch cricket with us when we were kids. There was no averages those days. There was nothing coming. And she used to sit and calculate the average and just tell, Sachin Tendulkar, if he hits 50 this time, or Gavaskar those days, right? Gavaskar, if he hits 50 this time, his average will go up. And we used to wonder how the hell is she calculating all these things. And she's too good. Till date, my mom is better than me in maths. I mean, she can kill anyone in mathematics today. And she teaches in Kannada and English combination. So even my son or my sister's kids still go to her for maths tuition. I mean, she's one of the best maths teachers I've seen. And she knows,
Superb. I think we should have her one day over here for Do Game. Maths is
yeah,
really
she's
something which is,
very, very active.
yeah, played havoc with my life, truly, for me being as a teacher. So then
Before,
I took up to
before you
English.
guys think anything else, this is just black coffee, okay?
Good, you explained. Though we have no bad intentions and we are aware of your good intentions, don't worry. Okay, so just a message at the end of your entire journey, Dr. Shivanand, for all of us out here.
I mean, yeah, one thing I say about Do Gamers is, everybody is trying to do something good around them. And I think sometimes you might not have something you can start with because you might not have the resources. Yes, I have a land, I have something where I can start. Some of you might not even have. Partner with, that's the whole idea of a community, right? So when you have a group of people, though you might not have the resources, right intentions, your bandwidth, your time, your expertise definitely will help make that program more effective for somebody else. So my suggestion is look around you. It can be next to your house. It can be somebody in Do Gamers. It can be any initiatives, right? People will be more than happy to partner with you. And everybody needs money. Everybody needs time. Everybody needs connections. Everybody needs network. Money alone doesn't help anybody, right? But it is one of the primary factors because we don't raise. Everything we do in Belaku is funded by my family and Smita's family. That's how we work. Right? But you need to collaborate. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult for each one of you to start something of your own. So there is, nobody's name is there in Belaku. It's just an initiative which we have started. All of you guys are welcome. If anybody is free on a Sunday, we go at 6:30 in the morning, come back at 2 o'clock. Once you experience that, right, you will feel that you will get 100 ideas. We started with English class. Now we have somebody I didn't even know. I don't even know this gentleman. He saw my post on Facebook. He's my 3rd level connect or 4th level connect. He called me one day from US and donated 40 laptops. Each one of them are minimum 1.5 lakh rupee kind of laptops. Right? He just gave it to us. And I asked him why. He said, I know you guys will not misuse the funds. Here is 40 laptops. And that started our computer class journey. So anybody can help us. And with your network, many of your corporates, it can be CSR funds, it can be individuals, it can be your time, it can be ideas also. You can help me fine tune the program, what we're offering. So anybody is interested, feel free. There is a Belaku page on Facebook. Like it, you'll get more information on that. You can look at your philanthropy story webpage. There are many, many stories which might inspire you. And each and every story inspire you, move you for sure. So be a part of this. And each one of us can make a difference. That's something which I will always tell.
Excellent. Small steps take us towards the destination and keeps the journey on. Definitely. That was really very interesting, Dr. Shivanand. Thank you for giving us your time and sharing so many ideas. And the best part is that what you said was that collaboration is very important. No need to feel all alone and lonely. There are people out there. Just go out, give a helping hand, and you'll get a lot in return. Absolutely right.